Elon Musk has been praised for his business acumen and success, with ex-President Trump even referring to him as one of our great geniuses. But lately it looks like many of his neighbours, including the Texas government itself, are not quite impressed by the billionaire and his latest ambitions. Why? Well, we'll find out in just a second, but before that, please subscribe to Futurephile to watch more fascinating videos on futuristic tech. On June the 16th, several photos of the letters warning against SpaceX were disclosed via tweets by Rudy Mireles of Texas local news KRGV, illustrating the case being constructed against the space agency and their actions. The complaint was filed by Cameron County District Attorney Luis Saenz, who detailed his office's experience with illegal seizures by SpaceX security. The tweet reads, "Just in, Cameron County District Attorney notifies SpaceX Boca Chica that unauthorized road closures and enforcement by contracted security officers may be in violation of state laws, including felonious impersonation of a public servant." District Attorney Luis Saenz claims that while investigating complaints from a resident about the behaviour of SpaceX's private security personnel, members of his staff encountered a man wearing a tactical bulletproof vest, who approached, stopped and detained them for attempting to access a public roadway near SpaceX's manufacturing facilities. Saenz' letters states that the country had not authorized a road closure at the time, and his staff later found out the Texas Department of Public Safety did not even license the security guard who detained them. The letter reads, "This conduct is unacceptable. While SpaceX is a valued member of our community, this does not authorize SpaceX, its employees, staff, agents and/or contractors to disregard Texas law. Also, be advised if this conduct were to happen again, not only could the individual SpaceX employee, contractor or agent be subject to arrest and prosecution, but as a Texas business entity, SpaceX could be prosecuted as well." The letter also states that SpaceX's actions may be charged as both a Class B misdemeanor for obstructing a highway or other passageway and a third-degree felony for impersonating a public officer. Well, it seems like SpaceX might have gotten itself into some serious trouble. However, this is not the first time SpaceX has been criticised by law enforcement and residents in the Boca Chica area. Earlier this year, Wayne MONTEITH, Space Division Chief of the FAA, criticised SpaceX for actions inconsistent with a strong safety culture, after SpaceX breached its FAA launch authorization with the Starship prototype rocket SN8 test flight conducted last December. SpaceX was reportedly warned that launching without clearance would violate the company's launch license. However, the warning went ignored because SpaceX staff assumed that the inspector did not have the most latest information, and SpaceX launched the SN8. After a successful high-altitude flight test, SN8 exploded on impact with the ground as it attempted to land. Fortunately, SN8's demise didn't damage nearby homes, but the debris did litter the local beaches yet again. Quite annoying for a place where people without a lot of money can live near the beach. But what disturbs the nearby residents the most is the bright lights and constant noise from construction and trucks. And not to forget the launch dates in the wee hours of the morning. Rachel Monroe, a writer based in Marfa, Texas, says, "What does this mean? A sheriff's deputy bangs on your door at 10 PM and tells you there's a rocket test that night between 3 to 4 AM. Now this is a mile from your house, and every previous rocket has blown up. So you can either cross your fingers that nothing bad happens, or grab your pets and try to find somewhere safe to hunker down at night in the middle of the pandemic." Boca Chica, a village few had heard of back in the day, is now globally famous thanks to Musk's SpaceX operations. It is SpaceX's primary site for developing and testing Starship, the company's giant spacecraft envisioned to transport humans to the Moon and Mars. However, with experimental rockets, anything may go wrong, which is exactly what happened during a test launch on March the 30th. As you can see from the frozen camera view, we lost the clock at T plus 5 minutes 49 seconds. "Looks like we've had another exciting test of Starship number 11, the launch commentator said optimistically. Within seconds, the explosion showered debris across a 5-mile radius, including the wildlife refuge designated as critical habitat. Starship prototypes are far bigger and provide significantly more thrust than the slimmer Falcon 9 rockets initially planned to be launched in Boca Chica. And to top it off, SpaceX has been cutting off access to famous Boca Chica Beach far more frequently than the company originally proposed. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, SpaceX has the authorization to close the beaches for up to 300 hours per year for rocket testing and launches. However, it has been disputed in the district attorney's letter that the company has shut down the beaches for nearly 400 hours so far in just 2021. But that is only a fragment of the problem. The worst is yet to come. First is the noise problem of the rocket itself. Rocket launches can be so loud that scientists have to make sure their sound waves don't knock over nearby buildings. The current prototypes SpaceX is launching are only the upper stage of the Starship, the other half being its booster Super Heavy. Once complete, each Super Heavy will have no less than 28 Raptor engines. With such a large number of Raptor engines powering the rocket, the sound intensity of the complete Starship is estimated to be around 112 decibels, even from 8 kilometers away. This is when humans start to experience hearing loss from sustained exposure, and as you move closer, the sound waves grow powerful enough to shatter windows and even cause structural damage. Indeed a nightmare for the nearby residents, but fortunately Musk does have a solution: floating spaceports. For years, Elon Musk has been outspoken about his plans to use floating spaceports for future Starship launches. But the first hints that they were close to realising this goal came last summer when SpaceX posted on their website that they were looking for experienced offshore crane operators, electricians and engineers. Following that, many other details were revealed, and now Musk has confirmed the news himself through a tweet that reads, "SpaceX is building floating, super heavy class spaceports for Mars, Moon and hypersonic travel around Earth. We need to be far enough away so as not to bother heavily populated areas." The launch and landing are not subtle, but you could get within a few miles of the spaceport in a boat. The Starship project is indeed a momentous step forward in the history of space travel, but it cannot be denied that the Starship launches have caused discomfort to surrounding neighbours. So what do you think Musk will do? Given Musk's staring personality, he'll probably do something exceptional, and that is buying the entire Boca Chica area. SpaceX is said to have purchased at least 112 parcels of land in Boca Chica, and it is still continuing to do so. Musk wants to incorporate the areas as Starbase, Texas. However, to incorporate the village as a town, SpaceX would have to prove that the village had at least 200 inhabitants. Please consider moving to Starbase or Greater Brownsville, South Padre area in Texas, and encourage friends to do so. SpaceX's hiring needs for engineers, technicians, builders and essential support personnel of all kinds are growing rapidly, Musk tweeted in March. If successful, the town and its leaders would have access to eminent domain, which could allow them to legally force holdouts to sell their homes. Now that's a lot of power, and the residents aren't quite happy with that. Residents complained that when launches didn't go as planned, they experienced broken windows, debris and bushfires. And while the company offered to accommodate them in hotels on South Padre Island, a nearby resort town, they had to pay for their own gas for the 40-mile trip. One resident says, "They don't want us here because it's costing them money to have us here, but we were here first. This is where we thought we were going to live until we died." The warning from the district attorney has caused other previous issues to resurface as well. So it is possible that the government's pushback might slow down Musk and his company. The only way to know for sure is to wait and see what happens. So what are your thoughts on the district attorney's warning? Do you think SpaceX will simply disregard the situation and go about its business as usual? Or will SpaceX actually abide by the rules for a change? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you like this video, you may also enjoy this next video on Starbase, SpaceX's Starship factory, that is shown in the end screen. See you there.